Have you ever heard people say that a man's worth seems to rise with the number of partners he's had, while women are often judged harshly for the same? I recently sat down with some friends to discuss this, and the conversation took some intriguing turns. So let's dive in and see what everyone has to say. What do you girls think about the notion that men's value increases when he sleeps with many, while women's value decreases under the same circumstances?
I really love this question. When you actually shared it, I was talking with Eli as well and also asked his perspective, what he thinks, and I'm glad that we're in the same page. Majority of the people agree to this notion that, okay, for men, they have the master key. If they're able to open a lot of doors, they're able to sleep with a lot of women. But for women, it can be like looked at as the woman is a slut or a whore if she sleep with different or multiple men. But for me, I always believe that, if you have more experiences, the better. It doesn't matter if you're a woman or a man. Like for me as a woman, I have multiple experiences, and it allowed me to realize what is it that I actually like in sex, what is it that I don't like in sex, and why do I engage in sexual activity with someone. But I think it also helps if you're able to reflect on those questions, because other people, they just do it unconsciously. And when you unconsciously engage yourself in a sexual activity with someone, it can also harm you spiritually. Now I've tried to learn and understand that. But overall, for me, it's more on having different reference and more learning and understanding.
This is a norm in not only in our country but globally. That male promiscuity is like it is seen as a sign of virility and success for, of course, men, whereas women's promiscuity is being stigmatized, and we are being seen as people or a gender with the lack of virtue. I think that it is very difficult to kind of dismantle this.
The belief.
Yes, exactly.
It's already like a common belief to everyone.
Yeah, and then it would, for women who has, let's say, more than one or two or even three experience, they can't be honest with their partner because they feel like, oh, I want to be as honest as possible, but the society tells, if I tell my partner this, he will see me as a slut, a whore, like my value is less here. So because of that belief, it actually it creates this blocker of being more connected, honest, and transparent. At least for me, I've experienced that, but I just have to choose to I need to dismantle this wall because it's just not going to help. If my partner still accept me for being who I am, then great. I don't want to live in a lie of oh, I'm such a pure conservative
There's a lot of us, including me, of course, that was really affected in this kind of society norms and belief. But now that I am in my 40s, and now that I have, gone through a lot of healing, for me, it doesn't matter. The body counts doesn't matter in a person. What matters to me is what you are in the present moment, because that is something in the past. I don't care, in my case, if you're going to be my friend, if you're going to be someone that is going to be near with my heart, I really don't care about your past. And that includes how many partners you had in the past. Because what matters to me is what you are now, how you are now, and how are you resonating with my vibe right now, and how are we going to grow together right now. So I don't care what society says about that person. I have my own assessment of you, of everyone, and then I don't care how many partners you had. That's me.
I think for men, being with a lot of women is a prize, like something that they brag with their group of friends that I've been with different girls. But for women, for us, it's like if we are not pure and virgin, we are like
Pure.
if we have a lot of experience, then we are not like we are dirty for them, because I think it's just how do you say this, it's men's fantasy to to have intercourse with a pure and virgin girl. So if it's a girl that has a lot of experience, we are kind of like red flag, or we're not very ideal anymore because we have been with a lot of guys. We have a lot of experience. So I think this is just for, in my own opinion, if a guy would be in with a lot of girls also, I feel like no, I think he is disgusting or something. This is my own opinion, but of course we cannot judge the person based on their sexual life.
Your uncle made me think of religion and how, if you need, before you engage in sex, you need to be married. And for a woman to have her veil closed, it's only being unveiled in the church if you're pure and virgin. So if you're not virgin, if you have slept with other people already, it's very sinful. So I think society adapts that.
I grew up in that kind of environment where if you are not a virgin, or if there's a gossip that you are not a virgin anymore, they will like how do you say this, like insult you or gossip about you that you're not a virgin anymore, and they will make up stories that you will get pregnant and you'll be a single mom and things like this. So for me it's very harming, because I remember when I was in my teens that I would cry because my neighbors would spread gossip that I'm not a virgin anymore just because I had a puppy love. And they will think that we already had sex, but we didn't really do it. But now I don't really care, and I don't want my child to grow up in that type of mindset. So I think it's changing.
Well, we all said that people think that if women have multiple partners, we're seen as somebody who is dirty. But how many is many? Because I come across people on social media that says 2 partners are too many. And I think for me, that's not reality.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, because we are seen like this, that if we have sex with a lot of guys, we are disgusting or we are sluts. So I've come to realize that women, even if they had a lot of partners, they try to minimize it so that it's not embarrassing. Like, they try to hide it, even if they had like 6. So they would say, I only had 2. So I also
Very humble.
because of our society, we are judged for having a lot of partners.
Exactly.
And so I think to answer your question, I think if you have more than 5, that is a lot for most people, I guess. I don't know.
Everything that you said, Maya, I think we're already in the modern day, and I think that belief is outdated.
Yes, I so much agree. As much as we want to hold on and cling into the past helped us to arrive here. But if we want to arrive further, we need to let go of the past and adapt to new. Exactly. So this is as long as you're not hurting other people, as long as it lives with your values and the people that you slept with or like you connected with. If everyone is okay, then why would you judge it? Why would you condemn it? Yeah.
Yeah. And James, last question. A very quick note or advice for people who you think are actually getting pressured of the societal expectation. I mean, societal norm.
I think the most important thing for me and what I could share is know your body and what pleasures you and your partner. I think that's the most important thing. And don't care about judgment or any criticism. If your thing is to be to explore that side of area, go for it if that makes you happy, as long as, like what Gladys said, you don't harm anyone or hurt anyone. Yeah, so it really depends on the person.
Advice. I think there's a lot of things that people have to say in every aspect of your life, but you have to always go back to yourself.
Yes.
Why are you affected? And go back to your own, like, why are you doing this? If you are into multiple partners, why? If you are into one partner, why? And why are you affected when the society is telling you stuff? Right? Always go back to your own preference, and always go back to yourself only. Don't care about what other people say. Do whatever makes you happy, as long as what Gladys mentioned earlier, it's not harming anyone, it's not causing any trouble to anyone, and to yourself as well. You also have to take care of yourself, okay? Because I know that having multiple partners is also having a big responsibility on your health. So this is something that you should also take note of. So society's belief and your belief, it can never be together, guys. Never merge. So always just go back to yourself and be happy. And as long as you're happy and you're not hurting anyone, you're good to go.
I love both of your responses, and I love this, Shay. Thank you for opening this topic, and thank you, ladies, for also sharing your thoughts. I'm reflecting, even on my own self, reflecting my own belief around this topic. And I think it was almost 3 years, 2.5 years ago, when I started really questioning about sexuality and realizing that the beliefs that I have around sexuality are all adapted from the society. So my advice for everyone is, almost related to what was already said, is that go back to yourself and know what feels good and right for you, because we have such innate wisdom within us that would actually tell us what's right and what's wrong. And just follow your gut. Sometimes our mind create a lot of noises, and there's so much intelligence in your body. It's not just in your mind. You have your heart, you have your gut. Like, see if it's a whole body yes, and then if it's a whole body yes, then maybe that's good. Go for it. If there's part of your body that feels uneasy about, should I go to this, should I dive in this experience or not? If you feel some uneasiness there, pause and ask question. The question that Leia was saying earlier, those are good questions to reflect on. And also, sexuality is my favorite topic, and it's a whole new world to explore.